Can you talk to
Hello, thank
us
you.
further about why you would be surprised if the Supreme Court of Canada decides not to hear the case?
Well, first of all, I'm just one law professor and lawyer. The 9 most important people when it comes to deciding who gets to bring their case to the Supreme Court of Canada are the 9 judges of the Supreme Court of Canada. The reason I'm a little bit skeptical is even though this is a very high-profile case, and of course we see so many people very upset about the plight of the ostriches and the prospect of them being culled, the high-profile nature of the facts do not necessarily make this a case which has massive legal ramifications beyond this particular farm. And what the Supreme Court looks to when it's deciding whether or not to take a case is whether that decision they make at the end of the day is going to have consequences for the legal system across the country. And so a dispute about whether the policy should be applied to cull these ostriches, it's not clear to me that that meets the criteria that the Supreme Court is going to apply.
Interesting. Okay, Paul, meantime, talk to us about the factors that could sway the High Court into granting the leave to appeal.
Well, there is one question that the Supreme Court might be interested in, which is how exactly do courts consider whether an administrative agency like the Food Inspection Agency has a policy that is a reasonable policy. Is it a reasonable exercise of their statutory powers? That's the issue that the farm has raised in the federal court and in the Federal Court of Appeal. And there has been some uncertainty over the years about exactly what test to apply. And so is it reasonable for them to have a zero tolerance policy? And it means that any herd of animals where there's an outbreak means the whole herd has to be culled unless there's no outbreak at all. That's a question. The issue is that was actually resolved in the farm's favor in the Federal Court of Appeal. The judges said, look, we've looked at this and we think here's the standard. It's the standard that's most favorable to the farm. But even on that standard, unfortunately, the agency's policy comes within its very broad statutory powers to manage disease outbreaks in animal herds across the country.
It's a little complicated, but I understand. Lastly, and briefly, about 20 seconds we have here, is there anything else that the farm can do?
They can apply to the minister to reconsider the decision. I'm sure there are plenty of other legal avenues that they can exhaust. I think, this is something that has caught the attention of the nation. It's touched people's hearts, and I don't think anyone particularly wants to see the ostriches culled. I think most people around the country would like the government and the farm to find a solution that doesn't involve culling these ostriches.
Paul Daly, University Research Chair of the Administrative Law and Governance at the University of Ottawa. Paul, thank you.
Thank you.